I carried this pregnancy so smoothly, so happily. I remember myself wearing bright colors. I was induced for delivery, and then I lost this girl. I needed to tap into myself, into my femininity. I needed women who were willing to come in and we do the work together, you know? There's a version of the female body we've been taught to believe in. One that says, when symptoms begin, we are declining. One that says, when the body begins changing, we are declining. One that says, when we hit midlife, it's a pathology. But my womb story, 10 years later, has made me realize something completely different. That the body is not declining. The body does not break down. The body is speaking. Hello there, my name is Doreen Nyiramogisha. This is Heal with Doreen. I know I haven't talked to you in a very long time, but I return with my womb story. I return to tell you about a very beautiful space that I'm building for you and for me, for every woman who is navigating different transitions in life, right? So my womb story is a 10-year story, a story of womb loss, of womb grief, of reclamation of my femininity, a story of healing. I share with you this story so that we can be able to reframe midlife together. Many women arrive in midlife confused. Many women arrive in midlife not understanding what's happening to their bodies. Many of them have been misdiagnosed. Many of them have not been heard. It's like their symptoms are very negligible. Many of us get to arrive in midlife even wondering if there's enough research into really what happens to us. So at 33 years, I conceived my second baby. It was a girl. I carried this pregnancy so smoothly, so happily. I remember myself wearing bright colors, enjoying the experience. I was 3 years into my wellness journey. At 30, I just switched things around. I started, doing wellness at a deeper level, at a holistic level. So I'm feeling so good during this pregnancy. Everything was okay up until it wasn't okay. So at birth, I lost this girl. It was placenta abruption or placenta abruption. I had, I got that pregnancy hypertension called preeclampsia, and then everything seemed okay. Then I was, induced for delivery, and then I lost this girl. I lost her, and I almost lost myself. I was traumatized. I was in shock. My body was in shock. My everything about me was just in shock, and it wasn't easy. Like, it took me about 9 months to ask myself what has just happened. The healing was not easy. First of all, to take care of my blood pressure, then to observe my changing body and things like that. So mine was not even just an emotional journey or an emotional loss. It was a physical journey. Physically, a lot changed for me. So it took me 9 months for me to take care of my blood pressure. I used holistic methods to take care of my blood pressure. And after that, I thought things were very okay. So we started trying to conceive. Again, trying to conceive because in 9 months, conceiving when you've lost a baby, there's a lot of confusion. You literally feel like your hands are empty. When you lost a baby, you feel like you have this love that she had stimulated inside you that has nowhere to go. So you have a lot of grief, and you have no answers. You have no places where this can go. And so the instinctive thing to do is to want to carry another baby. So definitely I tried to conceive another baby. But why do I say try? Because 9 months we're not conceiving. Before, I wasn't trying to conceive. Before, I was trying to prevent pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies. This time, I'm trying to conceive because after 9 months, the doctor is like, now, okay, let's try to conceive. But I go to the hospital and I want to see how things are doing. You want to do tests and find out why you are not conceiving. I get to find I have polyps. There were some things hanging from uterus into my cervix. I get to find I have polyps. And then the worst of it, the doctor tells me I have both my tubes are blocked. You just feel like you're coming from a frying pan into the fire. You just feel like somebody's after you. And if you don't fight, you're going to get taken out. First of all, when I lost the baby, it wasn't easy to keep me alive itself. So you're thinking, is it my time as well, So when the doctor told me both my tubes are blocked, there's also a joy that comes in knowing what the problem is. Because when we know problems, we can fix the problems, right? So I got out of the hospital. I remember getting out of of that space and stepping outside, and I found some ladies outside, the beggars, and I just emptied my whole bag. I emptied my bag. I walked home. That was in CBD. I lived in Embakasi at that time. I walked home and I didn't know I was walking home. I just stepped out and walked home and I was home. By the time I got home, I knew there was an invitation for me to go inside. I knew there was an invitation for me to take care of myself that I've been taking care of other women, right? So the blocked tubes, the polyps, I had two options, either to start fixing them or to listen to what my body was telling me. I chose the option of listening. So I listened to my body, and what helped me was the work that I do. What helped me was what happened to me at puberty. You see, when you're initiated well into puberty, when you get into your I'm reading a book here called Wild Power, which I am introducing to you guys. I want you to read with me. It talks about the different wombs that a woman goes through. You come from your mother's womb, and then at Menaki, you enter into then you come from your mother's womb, then you get you get groomed or nurtured in the family womb, and then at Menaki you enter your third womb. But before I start confusing you, let me take you back to the story. So I remembered the wisdom that was given to me at puberty. So at puberty, you're taken through different classes, how to take care of your womb, how to nurture your womb using herbs. One thing was clear to me when my sister and the ladies that took me through puberty were talking to me. They kept on telling me that, this is a beautiful place of creation. They made me feel like it's a beautiful place. Nothing bad comes out of it. Even the blood is not a bad thing. And they said, you need to take care of it so that you don't get problems with it. For it, it's a good place. You only listen to what it tells you and then you take care of it. So I was taught herbs that take care of infections. At the time, they knew that the one thing that would affect me would be infections, because now with food, with nurturing, they had taught us. I remember my sister used to do vaginal steaming. I remember my sister used to massage her belly with herbs. And that is observing her in her reproductive years, while she was giving birth. So I'm seeing that's how we take care of the womb, right? So I remembered I need to be able to take care of my womb as well, because these are things I've been using, or there are rituals I've been using, or methods I've been using to take care of other people, right? Now, you would think that blocked tubes is all that I got to experience. So when I found out that my tubes were blocked, I talked to the doctor. Of course, I was very scared. I was very confused. I wanted to conceive. I wanted to merge both the medical and what I know for sure. What I know from home, what I know from culture, what I know from traditionally, and also what I know based on the fact that I'm a holistic sexologist, I'm also a nutritionist. I wanted to merge, and I also wanted to work with different people to be able to support me. But eventually everything made me realize I just needed to come to myself. I needed to tap into myself, into my femininity, and heal myself. So I used what I knew. I started vaginal steaming. I started using herbs that will help me to cleanse my womb. I started listening to why would I be getting an infection. I stopped thinking it's a shaming thing or it's a bad thing or it is because I'm dirty or it may be because there could be something else my partner is doing. I realized that infections are not only caused by a partner misbehaving or you being dirty. They can be caused because of declining estrogen levels, because of your microbiome in the vagina changing, or because of different pH levels in the vagina. I chose to look at that and I revisited what I knew for sure. Before, I never had any issues with my menses. Before, I never had any issues with my womb. Before, I didn't have any issues with I had experienced issues with my libido when I gave birth to my firstborn, that's Ziza, which I corrected within a year. Yes, it took me 9 months again to take care of my libido, but I didn't have any issues with my cycle, with my menstruation, with my womb. Up until this time, I start experiencing different things altogether. It's like I was given a different body. I was used to a different body and I'm being given a different body altogether that I'm supposed to figure out very fast with almost no other kind of support. So I started vaginal steaming. I made sure that I can use herbs that tend to infections, that cleanse the womb, herbs that can be able to soothe the womb, because this has been a traumatic experience. There's grief in the womb. The womb is also neurological, it's emotional. So if I'm taking care of my mind, I also need to be able to take care of the womb, herbs that can soothe the womb and also a reconnection to the womb and being with the womb. And I also use castor packs. Castor oil has been known to penetrate the skin and get to the uterus and cleanse the uterus externally. So the castor pack is, using castor oil, making a pack and putting it on your womb and letting it and putting a hot water bottle on that pack and just sitting and waiting for it to take 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes to warm up your womb so you can be able to have a Mayan massage. So I also started having Mayan massages. I'll invite my masseuse to give me a Mayan massage. I started doing the same to myself that I know how to do. So it was Mayan massages. And then I would do breath work. I'll do breath work while I am steaming myself. Then I would take my probiotics, my kombuchas. That period, I started brewing all types of probiotics. It's lactobacillus that you need in the vagina. You would probably focus on one type of probiotic that has the same bacteria that you need in the vagina, but I made sure that I brew all of them. I brewed kefir, almond kefir, I brewed water kefirs, I brewed kombuchas, all types of kombuchas, and I made sure my kombuchas are healing kombuchas, not just beverage kombuchas. Like I would add probiotic supplements, and then I would add cloves, I'd add oregano, I would add different infection healing herbs to my kombuchas. I knew I was a blood type O and that dairy wouldn't work well for me, so I didn't use yogurt that much, but I lacto-fermented vegetables. I wanted to make sure that in terms of balancing my pH levels, the probiotics are helping me in terms of fighting infections. The probiotics are helping me in terms of dealing with the grief in the womb, in terms of healing with the congestion, because the polyps were removed, but then you're afraid of adhesions or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that the vaginal steaming does get to help me with that. But then also my hormones were out of balance. I started noticing my cycle change from 26 days to 21 days. I noticed that now I was getting cramps, experiences that I didn't know before I was getting cramps. So I noticed that definitely my hormones were or needed support as well. I was doing seed cycling before, but now I needed to support them deeper using also herbs. Because of the stress that I went through, I know stress can do a number on us as women. Stress is one of the number one causes of deeper issues for women in midlife. And I didn't really want to put on a lot of weight. I didn't want to have the cortisol still. The cortisol still is when your body starts producing more cortisol and then stops or rather reduces on the on the amount of progesterone and estrogen that it would be producing, because you are needing more cortisol, because you are not taking care of the cortisol using other ways. You're not supporting the body to detox cortisol out of the body. So cortisol starts stealing at the other hormones, so your libido might go down. I don't want that. I don't want to have the hormonal tummy or the cortisol tummy, so I knew I also needed to take care of my cortisol. I made adaptogenic blends. I knew about holy basil, mujaja. We call it mujaja in Uganda. My mom used to take holy basil, and we loved it because of its aroma. We had heard it's good for longevity, but I also knew it as an adaptogenic herb. I knew adaptogens like ashwagandha, shatavari, maca, and I wanted to combine them. And the other thing that I knew would help me was reconnecting to a deeper feminine essence in me, and that was taking care of my womb based on my rhythm and based on my cycle. So I became more cyclic. Seed cycling takes you to that level, but I became more rhythmic, more cyclic. I wanted to realign my cycle to a good rhythm. Before, my cycle was 26 days, 26, 27. I don't remember it being 28, but it used to be 26, 27. Still healthy, still okay, but this time it had gone to 21 days, meaning it was short of going into the 19 days and something like that, meaning you'd be getting your period a little bit longer, which would be completely confusing. So I needed to make sure that I can realign my cycle so it can guide me the way it's been guiding me. I can know, am I ovulating? I can know how long is my cycle? What's the color of my blood? What is my blood telling me? Do I have a luteal phase? Do I have a follicular phase? It's very important, because that was messaging that I'd come to depend on. So I needed that. I needed my body to continue giving me that wisdom, right? So I blended adaptogenic blends based on my cycle. So I made blends for the menstrual phase, adaptogens for the follicular phase, adaptogens for the ovulatory phase, adaptogens for the luteal phase. Why? Because adaptogens are herbs that help you to adapt to external stresses. There are herbs that help your body to adapt to stress. There are herbs that are supportive. They're plant allies, right? So when you're going through stress, or when you've been hit by a traumatic experience like that, you need allies, you need adaptogens. And so I knew I needed the adaptogens to make sure I can fight the cortisol still. So add adaptogens, add seed cycling. And then there was one fundamental thing that I needed to do, because I really didn't want cortisol. And I didn't want cortisol to really take away my mojo. So I tapped into pleasure. Pleasure is not just now the sex. I had to expand my capacity for pleasure, for aliveness, for wanting, for desiring. And I knew my femininity would be awakened more and deepened more if I used one gift of it, which is sexuality, sensuality, and pleasure. I had to draw a plan for me. I made sure that I draw a pleasure map. And these days I use that even to coach or to help my clients who are going through different transitions. I wanted to build a lifestyle that gives me pleasure, but not hedonism, not the kind where there's indulgence only, but the kind that nourishes me, the kind that heals me. I started hiking. I started reconnecting to nature. I started building sisterhoods, not this time for just hanging out, but sisterhoods that are healing. You see, the one thing that I also realized by then is that I was so focused on the family and work, I wasn't so good with my social life. And I had come from a place where the social life meant just going out and drinking and dancing, and that wasn't working for me anymore. So I wasn't building my social life as good. This time, I needed to get back to my social life. Based on my wellness wheel, my social wellness wasn't doing as good as the other aspects of wellness, right? So I tapped into my social wellness, and this time I wanted sisterhoods that hold me, sisterhoods where we hold each other. And I knew if I had to build a space where I can be held, I need to start by holding others. And I needed women who are doing the healing work, women who are tending to themselves, who are taking care of themselves, because then they don't have urgency pressure. We don't have the sister wound. And also, it's not like they needed to be perfect. I needed women who were willing to come in and we do the work together, And I was blessed with that. I got amazing women. We came together. We started planning retreats, healing retreats. We moved away from holidays where we just go to Mombasa and we drink and we party and we go shopping. We started looking for spaces where we can go and soften, spaces where we can go and listen to what our bodies are telling us, spaces where we can go and become containers of each other's stories. So I remember we went to Lamu. We first went to Lamu, and it was a 5-day retreat, and we really did a lot for our bodies. We came back and our bodies were wiser. So I delved into sisterhood as well. I've done so much, but you would think as you do that, and because you also have the support of the work that you do, you'll be spared. No, a lot more still came through. I noticed that my skin was breaking out. I was getting pustules. Pustules, just getting pimples. You're getting pustules, the ones that come with fluids, and then you wake up in the morning and then there's just one stranger on your face. I didn't know anyone in my family who had acne. My mom had never seen acne on her face. None of my sisters, none of my aunties. I had known that's not an issue that we have. We had good skin, naturally. And now I'm getting pustules. I'm like, oh, wow, I still listen. What do you want? What are you saying? So when I chose to listen to my body, I decided not to judge it, not to fix it. And I sort of always got answers to what I needed to do to support it. So 10 years later, it's interesting, I'm marking 10 years of healing and reconnecting to my feminine energy, and 10 years of using femininity to help me. So the loss happened I conceived at 33, the loss happened at 34. The loss for me was initiation. It wasn't a breakdown, I was being initiated into somebody, into something, into more leadership, into more eldership, as being initiated into the woman that I'm supposed to be, one that is connected to herself, one that listens to herself a little bit deeper. Because I chose to listen, the initiation, I didn't go through it like I was scared, like it was chaotic, like it was chaos, like, oh my God, this is a pathology. This is now the crisis they talk about. No, I went through it softly. I went through it listening. I went through it knowing that my body has a rhythm of healing, that my body is going to take, its time to be able to heal, but I was also getting some signs of healing, right? So 10 years later, my cycle is back to 26 days. Yeah. My cycle is not just back to 26 days. I am ovulating. Like when I see ovulation, it's like I'm popping champagne from my body. I scream. I'm like, oh girl, you did it. It feels like it's the sign of wholeness for me. When I see it after many years of not having the regularity of it. Now when I spent 6 months just seeing it regular. Before it was maybe every 3 months, but now it's regular, and there's more mucus that you get to see for the 3 days. Then that one particular day, I value ovulation so much as much as I value menstruation, right? So ovulation is back. I feel whole. I feel like the body I had before. I feel like I'm in that kind of body. I sleep better. I am more alive. I feel like I'm focused, I'm creative. I have ideas popping and I get to focus on them. I don't procrastinate as much. And this feeling makes me realize one thing, that midlife starts from 35. That midlife is not a pathology. It's not, symptoms are not things to just manage. They are messengers. They're here for us to listen to. I've just come to realize that, and to confirm the truth that I've read in many books like this, books like Women Who Run with the Wolves, books like Goddesses Never Age, books that I'm reading with you and I'm going to read with, and I'll tell you about them, that midlife is a recalibration. Like hormones are just recalibrating. Midlife is an initiation. You're being initiated into leadership, like you're leading from you now, and you're able to guide other people around you. I've learned that it's a place, it's a time of reconnection. It's a time of softening, it's not a time of decline. It's not. Like, our bodies are not breaking down, they're not declining. They're just calling for a different kind of care, right? And that's why I have created a space to invite you to come to. That's why I've created the Womb Awakening Retreat, a space where I want to hold space for so many other women who are arriving in midlife confused and scared about hormonal changes, confused about what's happening to them, women who are disconnected from their desire, from their libido, women who want to realign with their femininity and see the beauty of using femininity and how femininity works for you. Femininity is medicine. Women who are ready to soften, to slow down, to listen, only to realize that too is productive. I've created this space for us to be able to come and learn how to support the body, how to align with the body, how to be allies with the body. The one thing that anchored me in my 10 years was what happened to me. What happened to me when I hit menarche, when I saw my first bleed, when I was initiated into womanhood. The messages that I got became the messages that I used later. And it was clear to me that this was to be my second initiation. It's a preparation. I'm not menopausal yet, meaning I'm being prepared for menopause, for the other rebirth, the rebirth into my other womb, which is now, according to this book, it's called the womb of the universe, like where leadership comes through. So while that happens, you're called to be an ally. You're called to listen. You're called to remember. You're called to nurture your body. You're called to get deeper with understanding your body and nurturing your body. So if my story resonates with you and the confusion that you two have been going through, you're not broken. You're not declining. You're being called to rise into something else. And I need you to join me on the 8th, which is Mother's Day weekend in May. It's a retreat that is running from the 8th to the 10th of May. It's happening in Rongai at a beautiful serene place called Ubuntu Eco Lodge. In that place, there's a lot to as well work with in terms of body reconnection. But this retreat is going to be more about teaching you how to realign with your rhythms. Not only your cycle, not teaching you about your period. Some women say, "Oh, Doreen, I'm not bleeding anymore, so maybe that's not for me." And that's where my problem comes in, that we don't even care about our period, but also we think the bleed is what the period is all about. We have a whole cycle. We have rhythms. We have seasons, right? So we need to learn how to reconnect and realign with our rhythms, with seasons of life, with our cycle. And that's why I've introduced this book. This book is called Wild Power. For the woman who is confused, has not known how to understand and decode her midlife symptoms, this is going to be a very good entry point for you. I've read so many books about the wisdom of the cycle, about our womb wisdom, about our femininity. But now, because I have seen a lot of confusion about that women have about their bodies, their hormones, their cycle, their rhythms, thinking because they're not bleeding anymore, so they don't have a rhythm anymore. They're confused about this period. Like, so what happens to me? What happens to me? Am I out? Is it that my relationship is going to change? Is my work going to change? Is the world going to lose interest in me, or things like that? For women to be able to just use one connection point, the womb. Come, let's reconnect to it together, right? Over that weekend, there's going to be dance. I still believe in pleasure and how it awakens the womb. We're going to dance. We're going to do Zumba. There's a team of guys that I've put together that I have danced with, coming from Nico Fiti. They're going to come and take us through an amazing Zumba class, but also a class where we're going to learn pelvic floor strengthening, pelvic floor health, how to heal vaginal atrophy or prevent getting into that space where your vagina is dry, your vagina is not lubricated anymore, there's no sense sensitivity anymore. You don't have arousal anymore. That class is going to be able to teach you really how to connect to your pelvic floor, learning how to, strengthen your pelvic floor for better orgasms in midlife, for better vaginal experience in midlife. And also, I'll be taking you through hormonal balancing class where I'll teach you about seed cycling. The same concept that I teach in the hormone reset program, I'm going to teach it there. We're going to go to the kitchen together. I'll teach you the different ways in which you can work with seeds, nuts, adaptogens, and herbs that really help you to navigate midlife. Not like it's a chaotic place, but like a place of return, like a place of enjoyment, like a place of pleasure, right? So I'll take you through different classes. I'll also teach you how to brew different herbs so that they can work for you. There are different brewing methods, there are different cooking methods, there are different preparation methods. I see some people get those ones wrong. So I'll teach you how to brew the different teas that I recommend for womb reconnection, womb healing at the retreat. And also there will be amazing practices like yoni steaming, the castor pack, what exactly worked for me. I will use it on you and teach you how to use it. You don't have to be broken to learn these things. I was lucky that I knew them before, and so I wasn't confused, on where to go and what to do. You just need to be able to learn what is necessary, pick what works for you. And also, if you don't have to wait for things to break down, you just need to be able to support the body. In this period, there's going to be a recalibration of hormones. They need you to listen to them and support them. So we'll have yoni steaming, we'll have the castor packs, we'll have Mayan massages, we'll have vajacios, just a moment of reconnection to the womb, to your vagina, and nurturance, or what it means to have a vaginal care routine as well post the retreat. If you're called to join me, we're going to put a booking link down on this podcast, so you can book through the link. You can also WhatsApp me. I'll put my WhatsApp number directly. We will be able to connect with you, contact you, and give you further details. We only have 15 slots available for women who are ready to reconnect, women who are ready to listen, women who are ready to soften, women who are ready to understand what or how femininity heals you, as opposed to just it being something that is given to other people. Like, femininity is not just something that we wear for desirability, but our femininity or our feminine energy does heal us. The energy of healing, the energy of sensuality, the energy of tenderness, the energy of mothering, you get to turn those inward and use them on you. I can't wait to be with you, to reconnect with you, and to guide you to womb health. So if you go to your favorite bookstore, ask for this book, Wild Power. Come join me in the book club that we have. It's called the Sensuous Book Club. I will enroll you into the book club. We'll read the book together. Then at the retreat, we will also review the book together. So we'll have a final enjoyment moment reviewing the book together. I can't wait to be with you. And please do share this podcast with other women who are approaching their 30s. You don't need to wait until 35 or for something to initiate you like me, although I believe there's an initiation for every woman. You don't have to wait for you to break down before you can learn how to take care of your body. So share this podcast with other women. Also like and comment, tell me if my story resonated with you or with your story, or if there's an area in your life that's very confusing. Let's get out of the silence. Let's make or use our stories to inspire other women. Let's talk about our stories, because our experiences have been shrouded in silence and shame. There's not been so much help or research into what we are experiencing. I can't tell you how many times I went to the hospital and I was told there's nothing wrong with you, But then I go home and I'm confused about what's happening to me. So let's come out and talk about what really is happening to us. Let's share our voices. Let's share spaces where we can become we can develop our sense of agency. So share this and also comment, and also let me know what you're experiencing, or what that window is like. There's that place that is always going to initiate you into your womanhood. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here. This is Heal with Doreen.